This is called team building without time wasting. Are you ready? This is much simpler than the 32 questions. Team building without time wasting. I'm now going to give you a wonderful technique on how to build a team in a way that takes a remarkably short amount of time. CEOs love this. Why do they love it? It's fast. In my coaching, what is the cost to my clients of hiring me? There's only one cost. What is the cost? Their time. Whatever they pay me is irrelevant compared to the value of their time. I'm coaching the CEO of the world's largest pharmaceutical company. I'm coaching the CEO of the world's largest company. What's their time worth? I'm not there to waste time. I'm there to get results. Team building without time wasting. And by the way, we'll do some fun research for you guys. Are you ready? You three over here are going to join you three. You don't have to move, but just when you do the paperwork, you'll have 6. So you'll be one group, you'll be one group, you're one group, you're one group, you're one group, and you're one group. Okay, this is going to go real fast. I'm now going to teach you how to do team building without time wasting. Are you ready? Step 1. You get up in front of the team and say, team, on a 1 to 10 scale, 2 questions. Question number 1, how well are we doing in terms of working together as a team? And question number 2, how well do we need to be doing? How important is this? Question 1, how well are we doing? Question 2, how well do we need to be doing? 1 to 10 scale, 10 is high, 1 is low. Important to remember this. 10 is high, 1 is low. Question 1, how well are we doing? And question 2, how well do we need to be doing? Now let's practice. Are you ready? Here's what you're going to do at your table. All you need is 2 scraps of paper. On 1 scrap of paper, you're going to write A-R-E, R. And the other scrap, you're going to write need to. Need to. R, need to. And let's take your table. All of the R's are going to go to you. You add up the R's, divide, and give me the average scores. All the need to's go to you. You add up the need to's, divide, and give me the average scores. I've never done this in the NHS, so it'll be interesting to see what your scores are. Now, here's what I want you to think about before you fill this out. When I say team, who is your team? Your team would be you, your peers, and your boss, typically, unless you don't have a boss. In your case, it would probably be the board. But typically, it's you, your peers, and your boss. That is the team. So I want you to think of you, your peers, and your boss. 2 questions. Question 1, how well are we doing in terms of working together as a team? Question 2, how well do we need to be doing? In your case, you 3 are going to work with you 3. You can do the R's, and then over there, you can do the need to be's. All right? So at your team, at one end, somebody does the R's. At the other end, somebody does the need to be's. 1 to 10 scale. Now, before we move on, do any of you have any questions? Do you understand your assignment? Okay, let's raise your hand if you have a question. All right, here's what you're going to do. You're going to think of your team. That's you, your peers, and your boss. Not you and your direct reports. Okay. It's you, your peers, and your boss. For that team, you're going to answer 2 questions. Question 1, how well are we doing? You're going to get out a piece of paper and write R. All the R's are going to go to her. Then you're going to ask a second question, how well do we need to be doing? How important is this? Then you get another one that says need to, and all the need to's go to her. She adds up all the R's and give me the average scores. She adds all the need to's, and then we'll have somebody summarize one for the whole room and just see what the score is in the whole room. Do you all understand the exercise now? Everybody got it? Any questions? To your marks. Get set. Go, 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 go. Who has a calculator that you know how to use? Yeah. Go get your phone. You got to get a calculator that you know how to use, right? We all have calculators. The question is, can you use the calculator? All right, we're going to calculate those R's and the need to's. Should be easy to do. Just add a small sequence of numbers, divide, and give me the average score. Okay. You're doing R's, right? And you're the need to's. Very good. R's and need to's. Okay. Now, by the way, I'm going to ask you for your score to the 10th of a point. So round it off to the 10th of a point. Say like 5.8, 8.7, whatever those numbers would happen to be, okay? Now, by the way, before I get your scores, I'll tell you the average score in the world. I've done this with thousands of teams. The average score in the world is we are a 5.8. We wish we were an 8.7. I'm not saying that is good or bad. That's just reality. We are a 5.8. We wish we were an 8.7. That's the average score in the world. Now, I have no idea what your scores are going to be, though, because I've never done it in your organization. Okay, who's ready? Raise your hand if you're ready. Okay, over here. Let's start with the R's. We'll start with the R's. Who's got their R score ready? Okay, R, what'd you get? What is it? 6.2. Well, 7.2. We are a 7.2. Over here. 5.5. Who's got a calculator? You got a calculator? 7.2, 5.5. 4.4. Okay. 5.6. Anybody else? Yes. 4.4. Anybody else? Yes. And a 6.5. Is that everybody? Good. Add them all up, divide, and give me the average score. We got a 7.2, 5.5, 4.4, 5.6, 4.4, and 6.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six totals.
5.6.
And the average, 5.6. Again, it is amazing when you do this around the world, the consistency. 5.6, the average in the world is 5.8. All right, what do we need to be? Who's got those need to be's? Raise your hand, you need to be's. What do you need to be here?
7.6. 7.6.
Okay, a need to be is 7.6. Over here, need to be.
9.8.
A 9.8. Back in the back? 8.2. 7.6, 9.8, 8.2. 8.1. 8.1. 8.6. And who's left? 9.3. Okay, take those scores, divide, and give me the average. Again, 6 different scores, divide, and give me the average. And the average is 8.6. Now, what's amazing about this, it doesn't matter what country I'm in. It is uncanny how these scores come out the same. If you look at your scores, the average in the world, 5.7, the average in the room, 5.6. Average in the world, 8.7, average in the room, 8.6. If you know about statistics, there's no difference. So your scores are almost identical to the scores in the world. Now, the next question is, how do you improve teamwork? Now, by the way, you're going to get much more variation the smaller the group is. So if just you and your own team, you have a sample of 1, the variation is going to be much bigger. It could be higher or lower. It will be much more variable, though, much less likely to come up so close to the norm. If you have a bunch of people like this, the score will tend to, because we have like 40 people in the room here, the score will tend to push toward that norm. The fewer the people are, the number of groups are, the score is going to be much more variable. Okay? Now, let's say you get up in front of the team. You say, okay, team. How well are we doing? How well do we need to be doing? The team says we are a 5.6. We need to be an 8.6. You know what you say? Great. We got a goal. Our goal is how do we reduce the difference between 5.8 and 8.6? Now let's talk about what's just happened. You see, when you do this with your team, you have not told the team they need to improve teamwork. The team has told you they need to improve teamwork. You haven't told the team how well they need to be doing. They've told you. You haven't told the team how well they are doing. They've told you. You see, everything I teach, the more it's driven from the person, the better off it is. You're not driving it, they're driving it. Now, let's say we are a 5.6. We want to get to an 8.6. You know what you say next? Okay, how do we get there? Now, I want everybody to write down one behavior that if everybody on your team got better on this one behavior, it would improve the quality of teamwork. Just write down one behavior on a piece of paper. One thing. Everybody on your team got better at one thing, it would improve teamwork. What would that one thing be? And by the way, there's no right answer. Just write whatever you think is good for your team. And the reason, by the way, when you do this with the teams, you have them do it by themselves before you discuss it. Because if they discuss it, you end up with this group factor where people's answers will be influenced by everyone else. It won't necessarily be what you think, it'll be in response to what somebody else said. If they do it on their own, then you know you got what they really think. They're not influenced by the group. Okay, let me just randomly call on people. What's that one thing? What'd you say?
Honesty and communication.
Honesty and communication.
Better communication.
Better communication.
Listening.
Listening. Less protective.
I was going to say honesty.
Listening. Everybody, a lot of people say the same thing. What would you say? Listening.
Less self-absorbed.
Less self-absorbed. See, everybody says good things. Nobody says bad things. Everybody says good things. You do this in front of your team. You write down the behaviors. You know what to say to the team? Pick one. Pick one behavior for everybody. So let's say everybody on the team picks listen. Everybody picks listen. Now you practice feed forward that we did earlier. Let me describe how this works. Every team member talks to every other team member in a very quick way that sounds like this. I say, Miss Team Member, we are at a 5.6. We want to get to an 8.6. Everybody's working on listening. Other than listening, give me 1 or 2 suggestions for the future for me. No feedback about the past, only ideas for the future, that if I do this stuff, it'll improve the quality for the whole team. She gives me ideas. What do I say?
Thank you.
I give you ideas. What do you say? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. How long does it take to do this in the team? 5 minutes, the whole team is done. Now you look at each person and say, okay, now you've got a list, pick one. Everybody, let them pick whatever they want. So let's say I pick recognition as my behavior. Now we have a very simple 3-question follow-up process that sounds like this. I'd say, I'm your team member. Mr. Team Member, every month, 3 questions. We're all trying to be great listeners. Give me one idea to help me be a great listener. 2, I want to do a good job of recognition. Give me one idea to help me do a great job of that. 3, I want to be a great team player. Give me one idea to help me be a great team player. What do I say to his 3 ideas? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I give you 3 ideas. What do you say? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Follow up, follow up, follow up, measurement. And the simple measurement, by the way, I think you all are going to get access to this article, Team Building Without Time Wasting. I can send it to everybody. The other thing is this is online. If you want to have a videotape of this, it's all online. You can look at the videotape. It's free. So it has me teaching this on video. So you've got the article, you've got the video. If you want to do this stuff, there's no reason you can't do it. Very practical and simple stuff. Does that make sense to everybody? And what I love about this, you'll get more long-term improvement in team building doing what I just described than you will get shipping people off to the woods for a week where they all can climb trees and sing songs, but when they get back in the real world, nobody changes. Why? Follow-up, measurement, discipline, follow-up, measurement, discipline. And you measure progress over time, not this one-time religious experience. Does this make sense? Very good. Good question. Let's hear it for a good question. Thank you. Yes, very good.